Welcome to Hot Drama TV.
Every love looked real. Liu Yuning and the illusion of perfect on-screen chemistry. There is a strange phenomenon that follows Liu Yuning wherever he goes. No matter who stands beside him on screen, audiences say the same thing. This one feels different. They look like the perfect couple. This pairing feels real. And then, when the next drama arrives, they say it again. With someone else. The actor who keeps becoming the best match. Over the years, Liu Yuning has shared the screen with multiple leading actresses across different dramas, genres, and emotional tones. And with each collaboration, something curious happens. Fans do not simply watch the story. They believe in it. They see chemistry not as performance but as inevitability. As if the characters were always meant to meet. As if this version of love could exist nowhere else. From gentle innocence to quiet resilience, from playful warmth to restrained sorrow, every pairing seems to unlock a different emotional frequency. And each time viewers declare, "This is the best one yet." Why does it always feel real? The answer is not found in spectacle. It is found in attention. Liu Yuning does not overpower his co-stars. He adapts to them. He listens. He responds not just to dialogue, but to emotional rhythm, the unspoken spaces between words. He allows his characters to be shaped by the person in front of him, and in doing so, he creates an illusion that feels deeply human. Love that grows because of the other, not in spite of them. This is why each pairing feels convincing. Not because they are similar, but because they are allowed to be different. The softness behind the screen. One of the most talked about pairings described in fan discussions is with Zhao Lucy, often remembered for its rare warmth and lightness. Viewers describe her as soft, bright, almost fragile. And beside her, Liu Yuning does something unexpected. He becomes gentler. Not weaker. Not smaller. Just quieter. It is a reminder that masculinity on screen does not always need to dominate. Sometimes it simply needs to make space. And when that space is created, audiences lean in. Happy endings are rare for a reason. Fans often point out something else. Among Liu Yuning's many roles, truly happy endings are rare. His characters love deeply but often pay a price. They protect, sacrifice, endure, and sometimes disappear quietly from the story. This pattern has shaped audience expectations. So when a happy ending does appear, it feels precious, almost unreal. As if the universe briefly allowed kindness without consequence. And that rarity makes the emotion linger longer. The hidden cost of being believable. But there is another side to this story. When an actor consistently creates believable intimacy, the audience begins to forget the boundary between character and performer. Chemistry becomes projection. Affection becomes assumption. Each new pairing sparks comparison, debate, even longing. Not just for the characters, but for the feeling they represent. And yet, Liu Yuning himself remains just out of reach. Because what he offers on screen is not himself, but a reflection of what viewers hope love can be. An actor as an emotional mirror. Perhaps this is why Liu Yuning's collaborations resonate so strongly. He does not demand to be the center of attention. He becomes a mirror. Each co-star shines differently beside him, and audiences project their own emotional memories into that space. First love, quiet comfort, unspoken understanding. In that sense, every best couple says less about romance and more about longing. Beyond shipping, beyond fantasy, articles and fan discussions often frame these pairings as rankings. Who was the best? Who matched him most? But beneath the surface, a more interesting story emerges. These roles chart the evolution of an actor who understands that intimacy is not about repetition. It is about responsiveness. Each story ends. Each pairing dissolves. But the emotional truth remains. The story that continues. Liu Yuning will work with new partners. New characters will fall in love, part ways, survive, or disappear. And once again, audiences will say, "This one feels special." Because what they are responding to is not chemistry alone, but a performer who knows how to stay present in another person's emotional world. And in an industry built on illusion, that presence feels real. Final reflection. Maybe Liu Yuning is not remembered for one perfect pairing. Maybe he is remembered for something rarer. The ability to make every love story feel like it could have been the only one. And sometimes that is the most cinematic truth of all. When the applause fades, After the cameras stop rolling, the stories dissolve. The costumes are returned. The sets are dismantled. The characters who once loved, suffered, and promised forever quietly vanish. But the feelings they created do not. For Liu Yuning, this is a cycle he knows well. Each drama ends. Each on-screen love is archived in memory. And the audience moves on, carrying fragments of those emotions with them, living between projections. When fans say he has chemistry with everyone, it sounds like praise. And it is. But it is also a reflection of something deeper. Chemistry is not something an actor owns. It is something an audience projects. Liu Yuning stands at the intersection of those projections, absorbing countless imagined relationships, idealized dynamics, and emotional expectations that were never meant to exist beyond the screen. And yet, he never resists them. He lets them pass through. Why comparison never ends? Every new pairing invites comparison. This one feels sweeter. That one feels more tragic. This one had better timing. That one hurt more. But comparison is not about ranking. It is about memory. Viewers are not choosing the best couple. They are choosing the moment that touched them when they were most open. And Liu Yuning becomes the constant across those moments. The discipline of emotional restraint. What makes this possible is discipline. Liu Yuning does not repeat emotions. He recalibrates them. With each co-star, he adjusts posture, tone, gaze. Not to create chemistry artificially, but to remove himself from the center of the emotion. This restraint is rare. It requires confidence not to oversell intimacy, and trust that the audience will feel what is left unsaid. The loneliness no one sees. There is an unspoken loneliness in this position. To be everyone's perfect match, yet belong to none of them. To embody connection repeatedly, while remaining emotionally anonymous. This is the quiet paradox of actors who excel at intimacy. They are closest to love on screen, and farthest from it in reality. Why fans keep returning? Despite this, audiences return. Not because they want the same story again, but because they trust him to make the next one feel honest. In an era of exaggerated romance and instant gratification, Liu Yuning offers something slower, softer, more fragile. A reminder that love is not always loud. Sometimes it is simply attentive. Beyond the illusion, perhaps the real legacy of Liu Yuning's on-screen partnerships is not chemistry at all. It is credibility. The belief that what unfolds between two characters matters, even if it lasts only for a few episodes, a few scenes, a few shared glances. And when that belief is strong, the illusion becomes meaningful. The story continues quietly. There will be more dramas, more co-stars, more declarations of best couple. And Liu Yuning will continue doing what he has always done, standing in the moment, listening, responding, allowing love to exist, just long enough to be remembered. Some actors chase unforgettable roles. Others become unforgettable partners. Liu Yuning belongs to the second kind. And maybe that is why, even after the screen fades to black, his stories linger not as fantasies, but as feelings we once believed in.